to one or the other degree. Now we all have these traits, more or less. And then the future-oriented people are people who will sacrifice the present for the sake of the future. And this is also a very good quality, but this also has a bad quality. This has a bad side to it. Like, for example, they did a study where they interviewed people, what would they do if they had 8th day in a week? You know, most of the people, I'm talking about Americans, most of the people didn't say would sleep, didn't say would spend time with family, friends, or loved ones, or not even in pleasure, but work. I think that's, well, I was going to use a harsh word, but I guess I should be objective. I'll let you decide. And then they did another study. I'm going to tie this all up in a matter of minutes, so you don't think I'm just drifting here madly. Then they did another kind of study because they noticed the correlation between value of time and lifestyle of a group of people. And how do you do that? You do that by measuring time. What do? You go to different parts of the world and you sit on a sidewalk. And then you chalk down, you know, beginning and start of a distance, let's say 1 yard or whatever, you know. This is where it begins, this is where it ends. And then you just time. How much time does it take to an average passerby to travel that distance? And you go to different parts of the world and do this study, okay? You can already imagine the difference between life in the city and life in a village, for example. Then the different way of measuring time in order to tell the behavioral traits of people is how long does it take to a person at the post office to respond to your query, please give me 100 post stamps. You know. Or, you know, how long does it take to... I just remembered an incident, sorry. I wasn't sure if I was going to cry or laugh. But how long does it take? You go to different airports in the world. How much time does it take to the airport staff to get you lost luggage? Okay, they lost my luggage once in India. Freaking people took them 2 weeks. Anywhere in the world, it would take like half an hour. Just so laid back. When you come there from America, you just want to strangle somebody. There's just no way you can speed those people up, even if you bribe them. Okay, I gotta throw this one in. Friend of mine, he married an Indian girl, okay? And he wanted to build a house in India. Beautiful place to live, nature's nice, you know, commercialism has not devoured it yet. You know, inexpensive to live. You know, he comes to America, works for a couple of months, and the rest of the year lives there easily. So what he did, he wanted to build a house. And, you know, the workers were just moving awfully too slow for his concept of time, you know. And he told the guy who was in charge of the building crew, can you speed him up? And he said, there's no way. This is Bengal, you know, Bengal, that's that area in India. They're just like that, you know. And he said, look, I'll pay him more, no problem, I'll give him more money, just have him work faster. And the guy told me, don't give him extra money, you know. And he didn't listen. What do you think what happened when they got extra money? Hands.
Slower. Stop working.
But why?
They didn't show up to work.
Why they didn't show up to work?
Because they already got money.
They got money! Completely different mentality. He said, cool, I got enough money for a week. I don't have to work for a week. Completely different idea of time. I tell you, well, India is changing rapidly. If you want to experience India, better hurry. Time's ticking. I mean, every year I go there, it's every year so much more degraded. I'm sorry for being subjective over here. But, yeah, anyways, they're so laid back. Anyways, so you measure time. This is how you measure time. And by measuring time in this, and then the third way to measure time was to ask people, like, have someone wait in the line for like 10 minutes, and then you come to that person and ask that person, what do you think, how much time has passed? And then you do the same time, 500 people like that at the post office in the line, 500 people in a restaurant waiting, 500 people, whatever, what else? How long does it take for a computer to boot? How long does it take for a file on the internet to download? What's your concept? What do you think, how much time has passed? So people are more laid back. They'll think, of longer time to be shorter. And people who are faster paced will think that shorter time is actually longer. And this is how you can tell how fast or slow a particular group of people within a particular culture is paced. And they discovered that in America, relatively speaking, in comparison to the rest of the world, people are freaking awfully too fast-paced. And then what comes with it is a lot of heart diseases and all kinds of other wonderful things. And then what's one of the things that has contributed to this? I'll tell you, the advancement of technology. By the time a kid, especially male kid, is 21, a male kid by the age of 21 has played at least 10,000 hours of video games. Now, I don't mean to offend anyone here, but if there's anything that's divorced from real world, from reality, from relationships, from objectivity, that's video games. They don't reflect at all what the life is like. But you're just running all over the place. You're creative, you're in charge, you're killing, you're conquering, you're feeding your false ego. You're very incredible avatar. You have long legs, you can fly, you can live in an imaginary world that doesn't exist. And you become face-paced. And then I did further studies, just social studies, that show that all these kids have a very high potential of dropping out of their education. As a matter of fact, they did the study every 9 seconds. Every 9 seconds in America, a child has dropped out of a school. Kids nowadays don't use single-function devices, such as a watch. Stupid thing just tells me what the time is. No, you should cook, clean, dance for me, play music, video games, and videos, and give me driving directions, and God knows what not. Adjust the weather. And then the next thing about these kind of kids, is that they tend to be present hedonistic. Pronouncedly present hedonistic. What's the problem with present hedonistic? This is my question to you. Show of hands.
Disregards everyone else.
What's that?
It disregards everyone
Disregards everyone else. Selfishness.
Egotistical mentality.
Yeah.
Me, I'm self-important.
Me and my yes, that's the center of the universe. Yeah. Illusion, yeah, that's definitely illusion, yeah. Yes, yeah.
The person disregards the consequences of what he does.
Disregards the consequences to what one does. And then, one thing that we didn't think about, is that those kind of kids are incorrigible. These kind of kids cannot be taught anything. What's the purpose of education? Any kind of education. Even the thing that I'm doing right now here, it's a form of education. What's the purpose of education? To move you from the present into the future. It's not that you have to lose your, orientation, your focus on past and present, but education means that you should think about the future. In other words, that you're acting now for the sake of the future, where I want to be. you don't have to be like, like modern Americans, so projected in the future that you have heart attack. We're not talking about that, but we're talking about just rational planning. Rational planning. The other thing with these kids, are completely irrational. They have no explanation for things that they're doing in their lives. They just